quick PSA for the video before it begins. I had a procedure like 12 hours ago, so if I sound like Sylvester the Cat during this video, that's why. Enjoy. Final Shape has been out for a couple of months now, and the Salvation's Edge raid has been just about the same, with it being a couple of days difference from launch. And at this point, I feel like a lot of people have a general grasp on how the raid works. In particular, we're talking about the Witness encounter. And I think most people will agree that the main problem in the Witness encounter is people staying alive, particularly in the damage phase, because the regular mechanic, you can at the very least have maybe 2 people work on hands who know what they're doing, and then put everybody else on ad clear, and that's pretty simple, you know, just kill creeps and chieftains. But when you get to the damage phase, you can't just have those 2 people do everything for you. Instead, in the damage phase, everyone has to make the same coordinated effort, or you will die. Now, there have been some absurd, silly, and just downright dumb strategies that have been cooked up for the Witness to try to help people get clears, quote-unquote. I'm talking about you, Two-Tailed Fox. But this strategy actually will make this fight, the damage phase of this fight, an absolute joke, to the point where literally the only thing you have to do is press shoot and then press jump occasionally, and that's it. Don't believe me? Here's a clip, and then I'll explain what's happening.
Okay.
Jump. Damn, I heard him mash that keyboard. That's crazy. What? I just got taken out of my scope. What happened? Whatever.
Loading. Hurry.
A whole well as well.
I have full sifting. Like it matters.
That was really difficult. So as you saw in the footage, as long as you just simply jumped during the jump attack, because that was the one thing that could kill you, you are completely fine. You can tank as many beams as you want from the Witness, and you can just straight on shoot him in the chest the entire time with no interruptions whatsoever. So this strategy allows you to not only circumvent the beam portion of the damage phase and bring the risk factor down to almost 0, but also it opens up the possibilities of running weapons that were previously labeled as too risky or just not worth it on the Witness. For example, Whisper of the Worm. Whisper, you need to aim down sights with Whisper breathing to maximize your damage, but obviously, if you keep moving around left and right non-stop, you don't really get much out of your Whisper breathing in terms of bang for your buck. But with this strategy, you can literally aim down sights the entire damage phase until the Witness is dead, so it's perfect. Here's how it works. For this strategy, you're going to want to bring a Well of Radiance and 1 Titan. The Well of Radiance is just for general reasons, but the Titan here is going to be mandatory because we're utilizing one specific ability that only Titans have with one specific gun. In this case, the gun in question is Deterministic Chaos. Now, a lot of people are immediately going to say, what the hell is that? I've never heard of it. What are you talking about? And the answer to that is, it's an exotic that was released in Lightfall that has been pretty underwhelming as a heavy weapon, in my opinion, anyway. And it's finally going to get its shine in this encounter as MVP. For those of you that don't know, Deterministic Chaos is from Lightfall, and it's a quest exotic, so it's easily obtainable as long as you have Lightfall. Its perk states, while holding down the trigger, every 4th bullet becomes a heavy projectile that makes the target volatile on impact, and then its intrinsic trait states, while holding down the trigger, every 4th heavy metal projectile also weakens the target on impact. Basically, you make the target volatile and weakened when you shoot it. In this case, we're talking about the Witness. Now, you're probably thinking, why would Weenie Hut Jr. Divinity over here stop us from dying to the Witness? And it's a fair question, so here's the answer. You're going to be utilizing the Controlled Demolition ability on Void Titans with this weapon in specific. Controlled Demolition states, hitting a target with a Void ability or volatile explosion makes them volatile. Further damage to a volatile target makes them explode. We don't need that part. The next sentence is important though. It grants you and nearby allies health when a volatile target explodes near you. Believe it or not, the Witness is near enough for you to get this health benefit. So, we're utilizing Controlled Demolition plus Deterministic Chaos to continuously make the witness volatile and weakened, so you get the divinity debuff on him for 15%, and also get constant healing from this combination, plus the Wall of Radiance that I mentioned earlier on the ground, giving you additional healing and damage resist. Lastly, to go with this combo, you also want to have 100 resilience for maximum damage resist for obvious reasons, and then double solar resist on your chest piece, as well as 1 reserve mod for whatever heavy you're using for more ammo. You could also run 3 resist instead if you'd like, but I found that you can survive perfectly fine with 2 while getting a reserve mod in there for extra ammo. And thus, you create a damage phase where you do not have to move at all as the witness shoots at you, other than the jump attack. The Warlock simply pops their well, you are in the well, and then the Titan is shooting the witness's chest with deterministic chaos, thus utilizing controlled demolition, and you just pound away at the witness's health bar and wait for the jump attack. When it is coming, simply have someone say, jump, you jump up, you survive, and then you continue firing at the witness, not having to move left or right whatsoever. And as I mentioned earlier, this allows you to use Whisper of the Worm at its maximum potential against the witness, utilizing Whisper breathing, never having to unscope the entire time, doing insane damage, and never having to reload at all thanks to this strategy. This of course doesn't mean you can't run other weapons, because you absolutely can. In fact, it opens up the window for people to run some weapons that you normally wouldn't run, like for example, you would hesitate running rockets and GLs because you don't trust your teammates to just not jump in front of you. In this case, you all just stand still the entire time, and the only time you move is when you jump upward, so you should be able to run a rocket or a GL here if you like, and not have somebody just jump in front of you. Or, you know, if you're a hunter, just put on Nighthawk and still hunt. Same thing, really. Back to the Titan and Warlock for a second, I do want to mention exotic armor for them in case anybody was curious. So for Titan, the obvious pick here is going to be Actium War Rig. I do want to say that it's not 100% mandatory, because you can manually reload in between beam phases normally without having to use War Rig, but obviously War Rig makes it much easier because you keep having ammo refund into your magazine as you're firing, so it makes your life a little bit easier. Now for Warlocks, you don't need to do this, but again, if you want to just have another blanket of security, you could put on the Stag Helmet on Warlock. That way, when you pop your Wall of Radiance, you have an additional layer of damage resist on top of everything else that's already happening, just to maximize nobody dying in some weird way. And for Hunters, you're utilizing Stompies to jump really high when the witness shoots his. I'm just kidding, you're running Celestial Nighthawk. Who the hell are we kidding? You're running Nighthawk, you're going to pump damage, that's just a certified fact. Let's move on. And that is how you take a D-list exotic and turn it into a God tier choice for the witness, almost guaranteeing you a safe damage phase to clear the boss. Anyway, jokes aside, I do think this is going to be a very easy method for Sherpas or people just trying to teach the raid, but not having them go to beam school and jumping around for 2 hours. It's just a nice middle ground where you experience the damage phase, but you don't have to overwhelm anybody that's new to the raid. But what do you guys think? In the meantime, if you did enjoy the video, please consider subscribing today. It does help the channel grow and is much appreciated. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can leave a like and or comment below as well. If you don't know what to comment, you could leave deterministic chaos as the comment. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.